No, it'll just be like this intro, and it'll just be Justin going, this intro. Please don't be the intro.
Your head's in the clouds if you think that we're not all going to be gonna cut that. I'm going to say it again.
Make it the intro.
Intro.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Now he's frazzled. Keep the intro going.
Damn it.
This is a long intro.
Don't make this all the intro, you piece of shit.
Keep it going.
I lost it.
Damn.
God, this whole thing's the intro. I'm going to fucking kill you.
This intro is good. It's tasty.
We're going to cut it.
Make it the intro. Make it the intro.
New intro.
Yes.
Just kidding. Psych. Old intro, new intro.
All right. So I forgot how we typically start this because it's been a couple weeks since we've recorded anything, and this is the first time in a little bit that it's just the three of us again.
Hey, guys.
Yay.
So this is Your Friends Podcast, and I'm Alex Comp.
I'm Justin Brodzik.
And I'm Grant Davis.
And we're recording earlier than we've ever recorded. It is 10:45 on a Wednesday.
I woke up 20 minutes ago.
I woke up 20 minutes ago, too. Dear God, I feel like death.
I was at work, and I'm taking a long lunch to record this. So you're welcome. Fucking bitches. But
You chose this time.
yeah, because this is the most convenient time for me to do this.
You're welcome.
Doesn't mean it's easy. But, what was I saying? You were saying intent, something.
Feet masturbation.
Oh, Justin, what happened? Sydney?
Oh, my friend Sydney, yesterday, someone offered her on Instagram $300 for pictures of her feet.
Did she say yes?
No, she did not.
Oh, and why didn't she say yes?
She said it would be mean to take $300 from him only for pictures of her feet.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's dumb. I called her and told her that.
You still think that if the opportunity presented itself with you, you would take it?
No questions. I created my own opportunity. She agreed that if she saw me sometime this week, that she would send him pictures of my feet and we'd split the money.
You'd have to get like half first, half after. I don't even know how that exchange would work. There's no way he'd pay $300 straight up front.
It depends how much he wants it.
He seems
and how
like,
rich he is.
He doesn't seem like he has any connections to her at all, the way she was talking about it. So I don't know in what way he'd give the money to her, because he's a complete stranger.
Yeah, we just do like...
You're thinking Venmo?
I was thinking PayPal.
Yeah, like... Or, PayPal's kind of...
It's so easy.
Never...
Justin's mic fell.
I've never used that before. But I know like Venmo and that other cash app that I can't remember the name of. Those are pretty easy.
Put the mic back on the stand.
I'm working on it.
We'll take a second, let you do that.
Why'd that happen?
What do you mean?
It looks like it twisted.
It broke?
Twist is stronger.
It broke.
Oh, it broke?
Yeah.
Grant, did you push it in through the top or did you push it through?
I pushed it through.
That's odd.
Okay, it snapped. Okay, I'm just gonna hold it.
Okay, yeah, just hold it. Take off the filter. That's funny. Yeah, mine's going strong.
It snapped.
I didn't use one initially.
I'm holding a piece of it, and the other piece is attached.
Oh my God.
Fucking awesome. These are the clips that came with these mics too, so that's fucking bullshit.
We have another one.
Yeah, we do have another one, but there's three of us, so in the case that three of us ever want mic stands and to not hold it.
I'm cool with holding it. I got
You got quiet mouth.
Got mobility.
You're also very quiet.
Mobility.
And you talk from the bottom of your throat. And then you talk away from the mic.
Try just holding it here.
Well, now it's here. What that? Hello? Is this better?
I hear you like if you're on the other side of a wall.
That's really funny. Let's just record a whole podcast like this.
Yeah, like we're using it to activate our smoker talk.
Stop it.
I'm a smoker.
Sorry.
But yeah, I was trying to explain to Justin that he said he could live with the fact that if someone was masturbating to his feet, because the big thing for me is like I don't want someone masturbating to my body at all, but to do it willingly for money implies like an intent and a consent to that I'm not comfortable with at all.
It's just prostitution,
It's
and I'm cool with it.
It's borderline.
You're selling your body for sex. It's not your sex.
All right, that's the actual definition.
yeah. It's just like if someone is super fucking creepy and on my Instagram or something, I can't control that, and my intent was never for that to happen. But if I am accepting payment for someone to see my body, that is intent and consent.
Payment actually wasn't even his first go-to. His first thing was, I broke my leg today and you should feel sorry for me.
Oh,
Send me pictures of your feet.
Oh, he was still going for feet at that point.
Yeah, it was always for feet.
I thought when she was talking to me about it, I thought she was telling it in like,
She just didn't want to tell you that he was asking for feet because it's weird.
yeah, the way she was talking about it was like, you should talk to me more because I broke my leg and you usually don't talk to me too much.
That's some middle school shit.
His feet.
Is he like a college kid or is he?
We have no idea.
I don't know who
His
he is.
Instagram account's private.
Yeah,
But does Sydney know?
I don't
No,
know.
Sydney has no idea who it is. She
That's
asked
funny.
us who it was. That's how I found out it was feet.
That's funny. Man, again, just that's a running theme throughout this podcast is that dudes are fucking awful.
Yeah, dudes suck.
Dudes.
Why would you ask that? Why would you ever think it would work, first of all?
I mean, for
If
them,
you want it to work, ask a guy for his feet. You'll most likely get it.
he doesn't want guy feet though. He wants Sydney's feet.
All right, well, he's not getting anyone's feet.
I mean, yeah, he could get dude feet.
He might get mine if he asks.
Oh, he
could
he's
get
into dudes.
He could get Justin at our work's feet. Or no, Justin could be. That could be Justin.
Oh, my God. There's a kid at our work that is a foot fetish, like a serious foot fetish.
Like a real one.
He's one of the people that does this.
He might not.
Does he tell you guys about this?
No, other people tell us about him and his experience with feet.
I'm not going to talk about it here, but it's gross.
Yeah, let's not do that because that's gross. Not to like kink shame anyone, but that's gross.
Yeah. Hey, Alex, so who are you talking to on Reddit yesterday?
Oh, Bill Gates.
Oh, my God.
So, Bill Gates was doing an AMA on Reddit, and he answered one of my questions. I was asking him about polio and the potential of AI to destroy humanity, potentially, except in like a long-winded, hi, Bill, kissing his ass kind of way. But if like you're on Reddit, you know Bill Gates does like an AMA once a year around when he does his annual address. You can go like to billsletter.com, and he just tells like, here's what I've been doing, here's like the statistics, like polio should be gone by 2019, and child mortality death rates in Africa are on an all-time low, and they're descending. And he just talks about like what his charity's doing.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second. Does
Okay.
he work on the mumps disease at all?
I thought the mumps. I thought that was like a TV show. Yeah, I think Bill, he's just involved in like all those diseases that should have been gone a while. Anything you can vaccine, basically.
Did you know that 5 players on the Vancouver Canucks got the mumps last week?
What? How?
Yep.
What is that?
5 of them had mumps-like symptoms. 2 were diagnosed.
That's insane.
Symptoms.
So are they out?
They have to be out.
Those 2 people are out, yeah. But the other 3, I think, are just being like watched.
They have to be
Watched.
quarantined.
We played them yesterday. I don't think any of them played. We won.
That's awful.
Thank you, mumps.
Wait, they're from Vancouver though?
Yeah, they're not from the.
They
team
live
is,
there.
but
Oh, okay.
they live there.
Okay.
So you're in Vancouver. Watch out, you might get the mumps.
That's like just vaccinate your fucking kids.
No, you'll be autistic.
I know. I would rather my kid be autistic than get the mumps. Like, what kind of scenario is that okay in? Where autism is worse than getting the mumps.
A one where you hate autistic people.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
No,
It's not even just like you might get the mumps. It's like you could get every disease that's killed millions of people that we've worked so long to eradicate.
You could actively bring this disease back from the brink of extinction because you didn't want to vaccinate your fucking kid.
because you thought it'd make him autistic because you're stupid.
I remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago when I got whooping cough.
Yeah.
That's because some kid in one of my classes wasn't vaccinated, and I fell asleep on that desk,
Ugh.
and I got whooping cough.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, isn't that a thing that like babies get, and everyone vaccinates their kid for that?
Yeah, you get that's like one of your infant vaccines.
Yeah.
And then I got it, and my mom was pissed as shit. And then
you were out for like a while.
Oh yeah,
How'd you get it if you were vaccinated?
You can still get it.
You can still get it.
I fell asleep on a desk of someone who coughed on that desk.
I mean, vaccines aren't perfect. They're just really good.
And you know how well a school cleans the desk.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Perfectly.
You're right. I shouldn't have got it.
They bleach. This is an outrage. Yeah. So clearly we have a stance on vaccines. I don't even understand how that's fucking controversial. It's kind of like, it's like, how is, we're going to be showing a lot. How is like gay marriage even like a political stance where it's like, I think all humans should have equal rights. And then someone else is like, nah, son.
Yeah, you learned a lot about us today.
It's like, what? I disagree. You can't disagree.
They did.
Why?
I don't know what their thought process was.
Okay, update. The mumps isn't just a Vancouver thing, it's an NHL thing. 2 Minnesota Wild players are also diagnosed with the mumps.
Don't you know someone on the Wild? Or you always bring up somebody who went to the Wild?
My sister roots for the Wild.
Oh,
She lives in Minnesota.
Wasn't that
some kid.
Nick?
Oh, Nick Boca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to our high school. He got drafted by the Wild.
That's what
he
it was
plays
about.
for Michigan.
There
right
we
now.
go.
I wonder if he has the mumps.
He doesn't play for the Wild yet. He plays for Michigan.
He just got,
He got. I see.
Their two best players, two of their best players, are out with the mumps.
That's not good. See, this is what Bill is trying to prevent.
Oh, let me see if anyone
Mumps?
else got the mumps.
Yeah, just disease.
You guys keep talking.
I have a PSA. Wash your fucking hands. To everyone listening. Like, I don't understand why people don't think more about disease control at all when everything in history has led us to this point where we're just actively ignoring basic things that people should be doing. Like, I'll go to the bathroom in this office where Ford engineers come in, they do their shit, like literally, and then they go to the sink and they do that thing where they wave their hand, a single hand under it, water gets on like their fingertips, and that's enough for them. It's like you're working on autonomous vehicles and you can't fucking control disease. What is your issue? Is it because you can't see it? Your engineer brain doesn't care? I don't understand.
Too much time washing hands, not enough time making robots.
It's ridiculous.
You gotta balance it out in the day.
And they're in an office. There's hundreds of humans in this fucking place sharing a space.
Some people just don't care.
It's incredible. It's like, we're just going to go back to shitting in the streets. That's just what this is.
Hopefully.
No.
Hopefully we all get the plague.
Yeah. I really want to shit in the streets.
Isn't there's like there's some river, I think in New York or like in London.
Made of shit?
No, where the bed of the river is because back before plumbing and people were just shitting in the river. There's the entire bed of the river is just shit and like contaminated, just disease,
and what?
Dead animals, dead and animals.
I thought you were saying animals.
No, dead animals and just shit. Where some dude fell in the river and when he got pulled out, he had to be quarantined for like a month because he had so much shit fucked up with him.
Hey, you know what?
Jesus.
If I can shit in the street, that's worth it. You know what they say? More shit in the streets, less in the sheets.
Oh my god. And it's so much more frustrating because like, I don't know, a year ago I did it. I posted on Ask Reddit. I'm like, people who don't wash your hands, why are you so nasty? And I was like, haha, this should like, no one can like be negative about this. Every single fucking comment I got was some dude like, hey man, what does my dick even touch throughout the day? And it's like,
what? What?
That's the most common response. Where just dudes like, I put my hands on my dick. I'm not like rubbing my hands in the toilet. And I'm like, why are you justifying this?
But like,
you're disgusting.
Your dick sweat. You got dick sweat.
Your dick sweat, dick grime. You're peeing. It's splashing everywhere. Do you not understand when you flush the toilet, just particles go everywhere?
That's why you gotta zip up before you flush.
Your hands are just naturally dirty throughout the day. Wash them.
That's why you just gotta pee in your pants.
It's like, hey,
Everyone should use catheters.
Oh my god. I was so impressed by the amount of negativity I got by that post. It was like 40 comments of just dudes, I assume, talking about their dick and why it's not dirty.
Or transgendered women.
They have
Or
synthetic
would they
dicks.
be transgendered men? I don't know how to...
Transgender men.
label them.
We're going to a gray area we shouldn't go to. But it's like, I wrote a paper like recently because I was so fucking mad thinking about this. Like for class, I didn't just write a paper.
Was it in high school?
No, it was for my online English class. But, like my teacher, I think my conclusion was like our primitive minds just aren't capable of detecting like microbial threats. So naturally, we're gonna die from it.
I just don't care.
Yeah, it was. The paper was on antibiotics and how we dole it out like candy.
Oh, yeah.
Super infections and such.
Oh,
Yeah.
love antibiotics.
Everything is bad.
Nothing is good.
We're all going to die.
Accept it.
Life is a sexually transmitted disease, and the mortality rate is 100%.
Shut up.
Uh,
I know. That's not also him. It's also not him.
Bob Sheets.
He didn't say that.
Yeah, I know, but they quoted him on it.
It's fake news.
I love Bob
It's an alternative fact.
No, it's not. It's a real fact.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
He didn't say that.
That doesn't mean it's not true.
I got sources.
I got sources.
We should get rid of sources.
Fuck them. Who needs them?
No citations anymore.
Most of them are fake anyways.
Like, who even knows where you're getting shit from? Even if you cite it. I don't know if you went there.
Those sources are fake and you're fake.
You're fake news.
Grant, did you know you talk in your sleep?
Yeah. Yeah, very much. I know that.
It's really loud. You woke me up on one night.
Was that tonight?
No, it was like a couple weeks ago.
That was the night you were awake when I was asleep and you walked home, and I guess was I sleep talking when you got home?
I walked home.
You were walking through the hall, and I fell asleep as I saw you walking up the hall.
No, I was in my room, and I texted Alex when
Yep.
it was happening.
Yeah.
I was just in my room. I woke up, and I heard you, like, yelling at yourself.
Oh, yeah, it gets intense sometimes.
Yelling
It
at myself.
It sounded like a conversation. Like, I thought you were on the phone with someone for a second, and then I was like, this isn't a coherent conversation. It was just thoughts. I couldn't make out any words because there was too many walls in the way. But, like, I wanted to go there, like, up to your door and record it, but I was really tired, and by the time I, like, committed that I was going to do it, you shut up.
Yeah, it's weird sometimes. Like, what used to happen when I was, like, younger is I'd sleepwalk and talk. So I'd be, like, going downstairs and I'd be like, it'd be the middle of summer, and my room was notoriously the hottest room because it was right above the garage. So it'd be, like, 97 in my room. And so it's like, you don't even need a blanket. I just have, like, a sheet and two fans going full blast so I can bear it. I'd go downstairs and I'd be like, God, I need another blanket. It's so fucking cold. And I was like, what? And then she'd see me asleep and be like, go back to bed. And I'd be like, no, I'm freezing. She's like, whatever. I'd wake up in all the blankets downstairs on me, covered in sweat. And I'd be like, what the hell happened? And I was like, yeah, you walked downstairs and just said you needed a blanket because it was so fucking cold. I just kind of let you do it.
Grant, what about that one time that you had like a night terror? You were locked in a bank.
Oh, so there's two night terrors two nightmares that are night terror-esque, but they're not completely night terrors.
Yeah, nightmare.
Yeah, it's just like the gray area between them. But the one with the safe was I had just watched that Family Guy where Stewie and Brian are stuck in the bank safe. The one where it's just the two of them.
Oh, so this was recent.
No, this was years ago.
Oh, because we just watched that episode.
Yeah. And me and my friend Josh and Seth were downstairs sleeping in my parents' basement, and I had fallen asleep to that episode. I don't know how much time had passed between that, but Josh and Seth were both asleep, and I got up, started screaming, we have to get out of here, we're in a fucking safe, we have to get out, and I started punching the walls and screaming. I was like, Seth, give me your goddamn phone so we have light. And he like put the blanket over his head so I didn't look him in the eyes as I screamed at him. And then I just started running around the basement, punching the wall, screaming. And eventually I ran up the stairs and woke up upstairs. I was super confused. I walked back down and they were like just curled up in balls. And I was like, what's going on? And they're like, what the fuck do you mean what's going on? You were just screaming and punching shit. And I was like, oh, I must have been sleepwalking. And they're like, this sucks. And then I went back to sleep fine, and I guess they didn't go to sleep.
That's awful.
Doesn't affect me.
It's true.
My brother used to sleepwalk. One time he sleepwalked. How is past tense? Sleepwalked.
Walked. Just do walked.
Just sleepwalked?
Just don't say sleep. It's implied.
All right, he sleepwalked. That sounds dumb.
He was sleepwalking.
He was walking while asleep, and he walked into my dad's room, and he got like right in his fucking face while he was asleep. And I guess like as soon as my dad like opened his eyes, Louis goes, "Give me your money."
Oh my god.
Give me your money.
And then I guess like my dad didn't say anything at first, and then Louis just kind of like backed up, and then went back to his room.
Yeah, because you're not. If you wake a sleepwalker, it really throws them off, and they could like punch you in the face.
How does that next morning even go?
I don't know. I suppose it was like, hey,
What the
were
fuck?
you sleepwalking last night? And then he would go, what are you talking about? And then they probably wouldn't talk about it. I wouldn't know how to address that.
I mean, my mom would bring it up to me. She'd be like, "Hey, you did this last night, you weirdo."
Yeah, you didn't ask her for all her money.
No, one time I thought I was a lion and I was on my bed growling.
What?
Yeah, she came into my room and I was on all fours, like just like roaring and shit. And she's like, "This is creepy. I don't know what to do." So she got a rain machine and played it. I did that thing that animals do where they walk around in a circle and then curl up in a ball on my bed. Her fear was I would jump out the window.
That's right. I knew this story.
I mean, you do that while awake though.
Jump out the window?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but not like a lion.
Not on all fours.
Yeah, I guess being awake, jumping out the window is a tad better than being a lion jumping out the window.
A sleep lion.
A sleep lion.
Unless you die, then it's better to be the lion.
Ugh.
Then you die a lion. A lot better than being a person.
I also slept walk as a kid, but it was like a temporary thing where I'd only sleepwalk to the bathroom because I would only know that I slept walk because I'd wake up and the toilet would be clogged. And suddenly I stopped sleepwalking, I think because I shit my pants once. So clearly this system wasn't working out in an effective manner, so I cut that shit out.
Huh?
You shit the
Out
bed.
of his pants.
I didn't shit the bed. I stood up and shit.
And then just went back in your bed? Or did
guess.
Did you wake up and you're like, oh no, I'm shitting?
I woke up mid-shit.
You're like, what's going on? There's something in my... Oh, it's shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. I must have been like 7 or something.
Oh, so it's a far back one.
Way back.
I woke up mid-pee once.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Damn, I've done that too.
Yeah. Were you like peeing in a dream?
Yep, peeing in a dream, except
Were you peeing into a toilet?
Nope, I was peeing in my mom's bed.
Okay, no, mine beats yours.
Okay.
I was peeing into the vegetable drawer of the fridge.
Oh, God.
Didn't you not tell him?
I tried not to. My dad, like, I was walking my sheets downstairs. I was like 6. I was walking my sheets downstairs, and like me and my dad made eye contact, and I like looked away, and we never talked about it. But I know he knows what I did.
Nah, man.
Because no, they never said anything to me, so they didn't question it. So they had to have already known and didn't want to like embarrass me that I peed my bed in my sleep. But I never told them that I was peeing into the vegetable drawer.
Well,
Yeah.
can't that be like a traumatic thing for kids as well? They're potty training or like, yeah, while they're potty training is like to torment them, and like a step. Yeah,
It
that's like
becomes
part of
mental.
yeah,
Yeah,
where
that's actual torture.
yeah, where it's actually tormenting the child if you like yell at them because they can't use the toilet correctly because it's such a developmental stage.
It's like it's the negative reinforcement.
Negative reinforcement
Doesn't
that's it.
work.
Positive reinforcement works.
Yep.
Works all the time.
That's what
Negative reinforcement doesn't.
That's what my parents used to potty train me.
Negative reinforcement makes serial killers.
That's true.
Especially if you like hit them and sexually abuse them.
That's not negative reinforcement.
That's positive reinforcement.
That's sexual. That's sexual abuse.
Yeah. Yeah, that's negative reinforcement. It was funny. Not actually funny. But in my history class, online history class, it's about the Civil War. We're talking about how evangelical Christians started to stop like beating their kids and instead opted for guilting them so that they would become self-disciplined.
Yeah, that shit's disgusting.
It's incredible how it's like, all right, we'll do this a bit better. You won't eat for a week.
So like even that isn't better because it's a whole new bag of worms.
It's just hopping into something equally as bad. Just treat your kids right.
No, they weren't people back then.
Yeah, no one was people except if you were white and a man.
No, like kids
and own property.
And own property.
Kids weren't even like regarded as people.
And we're a Christian.
Yeah, that's part of it. Is kids started to become not even special, but just recognized. It's like, all right. We understand when you scream, it means you don't like it. We're still gonna do it, but we understand.
We get you now. We understand what you're thinking.
We're right there with you.
You're like a dog or something.
But you better grow up and own some land, or else we don't give a shit.
Don't talk to those Indians either, you fucks.
Yeah.
Unless you're taking their land.
Yeah, take their land.
That's hype. That's some new meme shit.
Yo, that's some dank land over there, Jehovah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where that was only 1850s, so like 150, 160 years ago. And I'm like, man, I wish I was 160 years in the future.
Back then or now?
In the future. So from now, 160, because
21.
we're still
77.
Like I brought this up before, but we're still in like the infancy of the human race, being like technologically. See? But like being industrial and being like actually human in like a non-disgusting way, except like still disgusting. And we're going to figure out reasons where people in 160 years like, man, I can't believe that was 160 years ago with that vaccine and coal shit. I want to be 160 years in the future. Where the future is always going to be better until like post-singularity, but that's hopefully far.
Or until we all nuke each other.
Yeah, I think that's honestly more likely.
It's more likely than post-singularity.
Yeah.
It's like, just don't, man.
Just don't.
Alex, what's post-singularity?
That's when AI is capable of developing better AI, and it happens at such a recursive rate that far outmatches people that it becomes dangerous and naturally destroys everything.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's actually Ford. This isn't about AI necessarily, but Ford bought Argo AI, which is a company founded by Google and Uber engineers that they didn't buy them actually, but they just started a 5-year contract for self-driving cars with them. And they are hoping that I'll put links in the show notes to these articles. They're hoping by 5 years, 2022, that we will have level 5 autonomous vehicles on the road.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Ford wants to skip 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Because they found that their engineers were more accident prone during 3 and 4, levels 3 and 4 autonomous driving than in 5, where the car can make decisive decisions.
When you're not worried about having human intervention in it, you're just worried about making the car be able to do everything.
So
Right.
like, is 3 where you're still like driving it, but like the car can like control itself, and then 4 is where the car's driving it, but you just have to like input.
3 is like
It's kind of subjective.
Tesla's autopilot's bordering on 3.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just can't make turns.
So 3 is it can turn and everything.
3, God, I wrote a paper on this. I really should
Yeah,
know more about it. I don't remember, though. Your dad gave me a thing that has the description of all 5 levels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you
but
still
I
have
don't-
that?
Yeah, I have it. I don't know.
All
where
right,
it is.
we'll just look at it later.
I'll
we'll
put like a link in the show notes to like an article talking about the 5 stages. It's kind of subjective. There's not like hard lines yet, but there are like some hard things. Like level 5 is clearly no human intervention.
Level 5 is no pedals and no steering wheel.
Right. And like level 1 is like
Level 1
Park
is like,
assist.
yep.
that's like almost
your dad
level
said,
2.
Your dad said park assist like almost didn't classify as it because every car has like park assist,
Yeah,
and, like
but-
lane keep. He said those don't count.
I mean, that's interesting he says that though, because those are clearly self-driving things that every car may have, but that would also mean when every car is driving itself, because that's what's going to happen, people. It should.
Wake up, America!
Obama is a reptile.
Obama's not our president anymore. You gotta say Donald Trump things.
I have a platform, I'm going to say it.
But he's not a
You
president.
already said it.
I don't know.
If he's a reptile, what does that matter anymore?
He's
No,
chilling.
it's not a controversy anymore. It's just a
What do we matter to him
just a
anymore?
lizard
What do we
man.
matter? We don't. He's
Exactly.
out having fun, doing shit, and we're here.
Did you see that video of him like vibing out on the stage at a concert?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're dope as shit.
God.
Awesome.
But I don't even remember what we were saying.
Level 1.
Every car has it, but that shouldn't be a defining factor in
What makes something?
what makes something a level or not, because I would include that.
I think what he was saying is it becomes more of like a feature instead of a level of the thing, and that way you have to change what the levels are, because since other cars have it, this isn't what we want. We want a different level system that isn't already in cars.
Which makes sense, but it's also like these features are going to naturally come into cars, and cars are going to become more and more independent.
Yeah, I think they'll do like a different classification of it when that happens, because right now it's just like they're looking for goals is what the levels sound like.
I mean, power levels are bullshit.
What's
Yeah.
power level?
Power level is Dragon Ball Z.
Oh fuck
It was a link to a bridge,
But
a reference.
what I'm thinking, like, the levels seem like guidelines for what they want to accomplish with their cars, and once they're already implemented, it doesn't become a level because they don't have a guideline for it because they already have it implemented.
I
Yeah.
think he was just saying that those just don't count. He seemed pretty sure of it. Like when I tried to like tell him like, okay, what do you think of like these? Where do you think these features would fit? He didn't laugh at me, but he made it seem like he wanted to. So I didn't have a lot of information at the time to back myself up. So I just went with what he was saying. I did not try and argue it at all.
Well, I mean, I would consider anything that takes humans out of the equation part of an independent vehicle. An SDC, if you will.
Yeah. When I asked him about like how close we are to like level 5, he said the only thing that's stopping, at least in his field, like the engineers, is just advanced LiDAR technology.
Yep.
And it's not cheap enough right now.
No.
He said
Not
if it gets like better and cheaper, which is just everything.
Yep.
That's all anyone wants.
Yep.
But if that happens, we can have level 5 autonomous vehicles with the current infrastructure.
Did he tell you what plant he was doing that in? Like what?
No, he did not get into specifics about where.
I do know that because I work with Ford and I am in all the buildings all the time because I'm in the IT department. They not recently, but in the summer they destroyed their wind tunnel building, and they're raising a new building that is on their test track that I have access to. So I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but they're raising a building for their automation department, and it's the biggest building on that lot now.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
It's like 3 stories, and everything else is 2 stories and built in the 90s. Like Ford is going all in on self-driving cars.
Yeah, I know they got screwed out of a plant in Mexico because of
Yeah.
the embargo that would have been placed on them.
Yep.
So they had to like shut that down. They were almost done with it, and they had to shut it down, and that really set them back a bit.
And then like didn't Chevy say some shit too that was shady about it? Even like our cars are all made in America, but they
They are.
recently closed plants in Ohio to move to Mexico.
Yeah, it isn't. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it was like a while ago.
But all I know is like if they didn't shut that newer plant down, they could have like devoted some stuff there too.
Yep.
Because they had to like move a bunch of shit back from the new plant into the old plant, and it just kind of like caused a hassle.
Yeah.
And my dad was upset about that. He had to go down to Mexico again.
Nah, Metro Detroit's going to be the hub for automated driving.
Well, Metro Detroit's the hub for driving.
But it's going to be the hub for automated driving.
And then we can...
California is trying to take that side.
And then we can lose our economy again.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But
Tesla's
first we're
based
gonna build
in...
it up.
Tesla is in California.
Tesla is?
Yeah.
In California, yeah.
Well,
Their
yeah, but like
headquarters.
all the big car
So is Google.
companies that are going to start devoting technology to self-driving cars, I mean, the big three are all based out of Metro Detroit. And we have the two largest, like, we're going to once they build the one at the... that place where they used to build drivetrains for GM and they used to build like planes.
Tesla is, by Consumer Reports, and I just read on Reddit an article from Consumer Reports that Tesla is the most popular American car company now.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And
Popular by like just like opinion or popular as in
by their rating.
okay.
So better than...
Yeah, but not by their
And
sales.
I
Right?
think Justin is right where the big three are going to start working towards self-driving cars, but Tesla and Google on the West Coast have been, Google specifically, for like 10 years.
They already have Ubers that don't have steering wheels or drivers.
That's
In San
Uber
Francisco.
is getting fucked
Yeah.
by Google right now
Oh no.
because of a programmer who took LiDAR code and tried to hide his tracks, who worked at Google, went to Uber, and they found that technology in
the Uber
Uber's
card. Yep.
code. And this is like,
This is big shit.
this is shit that could like make Uber go bankrupt. This is like, I don't think it'll slow down self-driving cars at all, because if you're stealing code, you're not adding to the ecosystem that is self-driving cars. You're just benefiting off it. So you're essentially a parasite.
You're just trying to get money.
Right. Whereas Google has, like, apparently Uber has been struggling for months to improve it, but that's because they're working with stolen assets. So the fact that Uber might go out of business, I don't give a fucking shit about it, because
Lyft, bro.
Lyft, like, my big thing with Uber is like, all right, a taxiing service, they can use self-driving cars. If Uber wants to do that, awesome. I'll side with Uber. But the fact is like Uber can easily be replaced by Lyft. And I don't care
Google
what happens
can
to
just
Uber.
make their own thing with self-driving cars.
Yeah,
Uber
they
or
could
Lyft?
Google.
Can just make their own thing that just is better.
Yeah,
than both of them,
Google,
'cause it's all
Google can
self-driving
do whatever they
cars.
fucking want.
And they can integrate it into Google Maps too.
Yep, that would be dope.
That would be like the best.
I hope that happens.
But it's like, this is some type of shit. Uber's been like under fire a lot lately.
Yeah.
Especially with like the Trump stuff, like
They've-
Travis getting kicked off the board, or not but leaving the board, and then like a lot of sexual harassment cases have been coming out.
It seems like Uber's always under fire.
Yeah, I mean, Uber's been a sketchy business since day one.
Yeah,
Apparently.
that's why it seems like they're always getting some shit.
An Uber driver killed a bunch of people in Kalamazoo.
Yeah, that did
Yeah,
happen.
it did happen.
In between picking up people, he would kill other people.
It's like, I just don't respect Travis at all. He's just a businessman, whereas people like Elon Musk want to change the world and make it better, whereas Travis wants to change the world and make it better for himself. Where he saw self-driving cars as the next big thing to hop on. Like, to become the next Bill Gates, you should hop on the self-driving car thing and work in that software, where you'll have billions and billions of dollars. Because this is something everyone's going to use. Everyone has an operating system. Everyone has used a Windows computer. Hospitals, schools, whatever. It's everywhere.
You want to be the next Bill Gates, you should invest in water.
Yeah.
Put all your money in the lake.
It's going to happen.
Just put, like, all of it, physically, put it in the lake.
Throw your savings in Lake Michigan.
Hey, we're going to be rolling in it soon.
Yeah.
In the lake?
Yeah, all of us are going to roll in the lake.
Fuck yeah, I love lakes.
Nah, but our aquifers are drying out.
But yeah, so Ford is making moves to invest $1 billion into Argo for self-driving car technology by 2021. So look out for that, folks. This episode was sponsored by Harris Design. Do you have walls? Do you want things on those walls?
Maybe art?
Maybe art?
Maybe
Custom
shelves?
art? Custom wood wall art?
Pretty fancy.
Pretty fucking fancy.
Looks neat. Surprise your friends.
Looks neat. Surprise your friends. We're surprised with the wall art we have here. Thank you to Nathan over at Harris Design.
Spice up your walls.
Spice up your walls.
Spice up your life.
It's just Nathan. He makes palette wood art and he makes custom furniture. So if you want like a coffee table or anything, if you're interested, go to harrisdesign.design and you'll find links to his Instagram. You can email him, maybe get something custom, go to his Etsy, buy a wall art. They're super cool. All the wood comes from Metro Detroit. He buys everything local. So if you care about things like patriotism,
Local business.
and amazing wall art that will make all your friends super jealous.
Let's be honest, it'll shock your friends.
It'll shock your friends. These pieces of super strong, high
Highly
quality,
durable.
highly durable. It's wood, dude.
Oh, for
highly
sure.
customizable.
Yep. Send an email over to Nathan at harrisdesign.design@gmail.com. Get something super custom for your walls, coffee table, whatever. Use promo code FRIENDS at checkout on the Etsy site and get 10% off your first purchase.
Maybe
Ooh,
something for your mom.
maybe something for your mom, your
Makes
dad.
great gifts.
Oh my god. Gifts. Harris Design, created for individuals. I have not heard a single good argument for why self-driving cars should not exist.
The only argument I can think of is I like to drive.
And
No, that's not an argument. The arguments people suggest are that they're more dangerous than.
Well, like once you
And
get
the only arguments anyone can make that are any what substantial are
it could be
the way
dangerous.
that they are now, not what they're going to be.
right.
Like the fact that they get into more. Technically, self-driving cars have gotten into more accidents, but only one of those accidents has been anything more than like a fender bender or like a scuff, like two cars. Like there was one time this self-driving Uber, Google car in California, like tried to avoid some sandbags on the side of the road, and it thought that a bus was going to stop, but it didn't take into account that it's a bus, so it's not going to stop, and it moved like into the way, and they had like a 6 mile an hour like paint trading collision. And if you count those, technically self-driving cars have more accidents per mile, like million miles driven or whatever, than regular driving cars, but only one of them mattered at all, and that was that guy in Florida.
With autopilot.
Yeah, it was the guy in Florida.
And like I know at least with Google self-driving cars of accidents reported, 2 of them were due to human intervention,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where the car was like doing fine, but the human was like, "Rah, rah, rah," or like a human hit the car.
Last time I looked, there had been 11 reported accidents from Google self-driving cars in California since they started.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Oh wow.
No, I think I don't remember the number of million miles driven, but I know that the self-driving cars. I know it's a really small sample size, but they're beating
People.
like human-minded cars in fatalities per miles driven.
Well, you just
they're
have to
at
adjust
1
per
for
capita.
100 million. The average for human-minded drivers is 1 per 80 million.
Right. Don't you just have to adjust per capita, which is, I guess, still like 1,000 compared to what, billions?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be easier in a couple of years when there's
More.
billions of miles driven by self-driving cars and you have
Yeah.
a larger sample size. You
I mean,
probably still only have
considering
that one death.
every auto manufacturer, like this is something where, like, let's say GM chose not to make a self-driving car,
That'd be dumb.
they would go out of business.
Yeah.
You can't.
They
Because
get bailed
everyone else
out.
is. It's like, yeah, the biggest argument I always hear is, man, wouldn't that like be boring? And it's like,
That's not an argument. That's just your
your
opinion.
primitive monkey mind is not capable of handling this 3-ton steel encased
Death
killing
trap.
machine. Yeah, it's like you can't do it.
You have your own personal Uber forever.
It's-
It's free. I mean,
You don't
it's-
even need a
it's-
car.
It's free.
It's a fixed cost taxi.
It's a fixed cost taxi.
Yeah. You don't even need a car. It's like if your big thing is like pollution, first of all, like electric cars, but second of all, battery technology gets better. But it's like this city infrastructure can like
You go away.
it's incredible because it's like you can do if every car on the road was self-driving, no more like traffic signals because traffic signals are there for people.
Gridlock wouldn't exist.
Gridlock wouldn't exist.
That'd be
a lot
incredible.
of bad things would no longer exist. Like
How the
drug
United
driving.
States is shit at public transportation, self-driving cars can be public transportation.
I'm just worried about. I don't know. They're probably going to come up with a name for it, but the time period when like half the cars on the road are self-driving
Yes.
and half the cars on the road are people because they're stubborn and don't want a self-driving car because they're like traditionalists or Republicans or something.
Oh, you mean actual hell?
And then like there's going to be so many arguments about
like,
how self-driving cars are so terrible because the accident rate's going to go up because these self-driving cars probably aren't going to know what to do when like they're not going to be able to predict what another human driver is going to do. That's impossible. So if this human driver is texting and swerves into their lane and there's another car right here, like they're going to I looked up stuff about how they're looking up like algorithms that base off of like the trolley problem to like for how should a self-driving car value life.
Oh, I hate that argument.
The trolley problem.
That's not important at all. That's like a distraction from the big problem.
The fact that they're basing it off, they're at least they're using the trolley problem as like a base for how they should do it, or the fact that they're thinking about it at all.
The fact it's like one of those things where people decide that this is a good thing to think about, whereas it has the exact opposite effect on the scenario of outcomes.
Are you talking about the trolley problem?
The trolley problem.
Okay.
Don't think about it like it's not important. Like we should implement a system for cars to value life. And it's like you're talking about an AI system, first of all, that doesn't exist right now. Second of all, that causes like exponentially more computations per second than first, like, I think in the case of when the car detects an issue, reducing its speed and avoiding obstacles is like the only thing it should focus on.
Yeah, but the thing is like
I think those
when you get into scenarios like that if you never think about it and then you go back and you see no one's ever done any research on it and then say instead of swerving into this, I don't know, car that's got like one driver, it swerves off the road to avoid the car and like kills an elderly man on the sidewalk, there's going to be an uproar and that's going to be really detrimental to self-driving cars.
I think incidents where slowing down way better and faster than a human ever could, and avoiding obstacles way better and faster than a human ever could, where that's not enough, are such a small number of potential accidents on the road, even with human drivers, where it's like you're trying to
make it seem too much deeper than it is.
It's like trying to exercise
smarter.
a ghost that isn't even there. That isn't even important to what we're discussing. And you're gonna like... What's scary about it is like trolley problem logic with self-driving cars is like popular among people, which is what's scary. People love to talk about it. Like, because it starts that philosophy... That low-level philosophy where it's like, how much human value or life value is an elderly man compared to an elderly woman, or two dogs, or like one person, where people start to throw out their like ideas about this because it's satisfying. And what's scary is that if people like it, that means politicians want it. And that means politicians can like mandate popular legislation on self-driving cars that will be detrimental. And that's what's scary.
But I just think, like, yeah, the trolley problem probably isn't a good place to start. But if you don't think about it ever, and then one of those situations arises, sure, it's probably going to be one. You might get one or two a year where it sparks a conversation about it. But if you see that no one's ever looked into it, no one's ever tried to do anything to set certain guidelines for it or done any research at all, they're just like, all right, yeah, swerve out of the way, watch for cars, avoid obstacles if you can, if not, hit whatever. And like you start killing people, like there will be public outcry from all the people who didn't want self-driving cars to begin with. That would just be the fire starter for their hate and their protests and shit like that. Like I feel like it's to some extent you have to look into it just so you can have some kind of defense for when it does happen for these people. Like, hey, yeah, we have done research, we have looked into it. This we decided was the best option. Get over yourself.
Yeah, since it's like such a base level ethical problem, just apply like a base level of like safety to the car, so that way there's at least something there to satisfy the people's need for it. Since it's catching on so much, and then the politicians are of course going to do it because of that. you have to implement at least a limited factor of it just to get it off the ground and rolling.
You just need something. It doesn't have to be good or right. It just has to be something.
I think it's also something people focus too much on. Whereas
the trolley problem in general is focused too much on.
Right, where the bigger issue with self-driving cars is the automation taking away human labor. That's the biggest problem with self-driving cars.
Yeah,
And
no
no one
honestly,
ever brings that up.
No one talks about it because it's like,
Because that requires too much thought.
it's so scary to think of. Like there's no laws that you could like conceivably make to mandate that. Because no, because there'd be so many people losing out on jobs, and no one wants to make laws that say like you have to lose your job because then you're not getting elected. So it's too terrifying to talk about because it's gonna cost you an election, and then the fact that you're telling people you will lose your job, it's scary to them to think about, and it's just overall unappealing. But
it'd be like if they told people in 2000 or like in the summer of 2008, like, hey,
everything's going to
17
shit.
million you are gonna lose your jobs.
Yeah. It's also like the thing about overpopulation where like if a politician ever did come up there and be like we need to kill people, they wouldn't get elected.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, purge.
It's like there's just some things we can't talk about to like they can't do to the public because of their position, because where they want to go needs a popular opinion, and they wouldn't get it with that.
See, I think the United States is particularly fucked because of our capitalistic nature, where we don't view like homeless people as people or citizens, and we're
No, you're not
as a
allowed to be
society-
homeless in California. It's illegal.
yeah,
It's illegal.
It's in some city in California. If like you can't sleep on the street.
like where the United States views these people as like worse than worthless. They're taking up space where they're not helping it in any way. And these are going to become huge sections of the workforce that are unemployed due to no fault of their own. And it's like, go to college again. Go become a programmer. And it's like, yeah, some of those people will, but we're talking like millions of people.
Yeah,
And not every single person's going to go fucking to college because they can't. That's like the biggest issue with the United States right now is education.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the fact that it's too expensive.
And it's like, that's the solution is like, get fucked.
No one sees it. The universities all need to swallow their pride and cut their costs, and we need more government funding of schools so that when half the workforce becomes unemployed because of the rapid increase of automation, that these people aren't all fucked, and we're not all fucked as a nation.
We're going to go through like a turmoil period. The United States specifically,
The United States.
the United States specifically is going to go through like probably a 20-year transition period.
When we colonize Mars, can we call it that?
United States. It depends on who colonizes it.
It's gonna be us.
Please, Elon,
Don't waste this opportunity.
you got one chance.
United Space.
Don't use to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime,
Shut
yo.
Yeah.
But it's
Imagine having 51 states and one of them being Mars.
that's sick.
Imagine having 51 states and one of them being Mars.
That's sick.
Dope. Imagine the Mars state flag. It's just like Mars. It's like the Japan flag, but it's Mars.
Also, with the trolley problem, where hold on, he's coming back. With the trolley problem being such a low number already, probably of like accidents that occur, that number is only going to go down as more and more self-driving cars are on the road.
Yeah, because it's just about the humans on the road, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, maybe eventually there will be a AI system in a car that can identify life and who's in the car next to me and so on and so forth. But that's like not helpful to the conversation right now, where, yeah, maybe we should develop systems of swerving out of the way, but right in programming, the less code you have that does more, the better, because there's less opportunities for shit to break. Same thing with like mechanical parts. Like the reason my Mac doesn't have a disk drive is because that shit will break, and we opted away from it. I don't need disks
And no one
anymore.
uses discs.
Yeah,
Exactly. So it's just parts that can break.
Programming's like a clock.
It's like the less parts, the better.
It works better when all the gears mesh together.
And if you can ever remove a gear entirely, that's great.
Needs to be well lubed and wound tight.
So implementing.
In case you didn't realize, this is an Incredibles reference. We watched
Yeah,
the
the
Incredibles.
whole
last night.
thing was Incredibles.
When Mr. Incredible's boss is yelling at him after he fixes his pencils on the calendar.
Yeah, the gears.
But it's like so implementing this entirely new complex system of ideas that is almost science fiction in nature is only going to cause more stress on the system than necessary. Just slow down, avoid obstacles.
My Comp 106 teacher, where I wrote the essay about things, about this, about self-driving cars, I can remember the name at first, she referenced self-driving cars as science fiction.
She's fucking delusional.
Wasn't her husband in something like that?
I interviewed her husband because she was like really sure that he'd be a cool source, and he didn't have any concrete information for me. He just like had his opinions, which I guess were good because I used them.
What was he like part of?
He works for the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago.
How did
She thought that he'd be able to give me an economic standpoint,
okay.
and I asked him about that, and the first thing he told me was, "I'm not really going to be able to give you like an economic standpoint on the idea. I know some stuff, but it's just what I've read in the news." And I was like, "All right, sure, give me what you got." And then he talked for like a half hour.
Yeah, I remember when you had that phone call.
Yeah, I didn't say much.
No, it was just, you were just kind of standing in your room.
Yeah.
You said he works for the Federal Bank in Chicago?
The Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago.
What the fuck?
Here is a tweet that really helped illustrate my point.
Did you tweet this?
No, it's I follow CGP Grey on Twitter, and someone replied to him with this tweet where I'll put the tweet in the show notes, where it says, "Trolley problem with one option going to another branch continues to infinity. Doubles with the amount of people in each iteration."
I love this one.
So
It's so fucking
that's just what happens.
stupid.
This is what happens forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's whereas if you could just stop there, slow down, don't hit shit, and like you might hit shit, but you're
slow
gonna be
enough.
fine.
Yeah.
If you go slow enough, as long as you don't hit a brittle old man or an infant, people should be fine. Minor injuries, we can handle that.
It's like we're discussing shark attacks.
More people die from refrigerators falling on them.
I was
but how
almost
many-
going to say vending
And
machines.
cows.
How many people have died from Sharknado? There's almost 5 movies.
100 people die from cows every year.
See, like, if we
100?
bunch together all these fucking dumb deaths, like, even electrocutions in a household, I think, is less than 100 in the United States per year to death. It's like, can't you statistically round these off to 0?
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's... I don't know if you're going to say that's a stupid thing that we have all these regulations for electrocution, like, so things don't electrocute you. But I think that's why we don't have so many deaths, because we have so many things that don't short-circuit.
Well, I mean, we have outlets in the bathroom.
Yeah.
UK doesn't.
They just don't have outlets in the bathroom at all.
They're like, they're either weaker or they don't exist.
Then how do you plug in your hairdryer?
You don't.
You do your
You
hair
go
dry-
into your room.
Yeah, you do your hair
away
dryer
from the
in a different
water
room.
because it's like one of those things where it's like more safety is better, and
yeah,
no
smart.
politicians can be like, I don't think we should not do that.
Less safety for all.
Exactly.
It takes away your rights to have electronics in the bathroom.
My platform is less safety. No
As
more
it's-
helmets on motorcycles.
As it says in the Constitution,
No
Oh
more
my
seatbelts on
we
cars.
need plugs in the bathroom.
Constitution.
The British Constitution.
I don't even understand why we give a shit what our founding fathers thought.
Because it's important.
They founded us. They are our fathers.
Because if we don't, then we can just keep changing it forever.
They were old, white, smelly racists.
You're damn right they were. Except Alexander Hamilton, he wasn't that racist.
Nah, he was dope.
Yeah, he was cool.
There's always gonna be one dope dude in the crew.
You're right.
You know that one KK guy who's like, fine.
He's like, he's
don't-
not really into it, but he just likes to hang out with the guys.
Yeah, I don't really want to do this, but we're drinking beer.
So like, it's whatever.
It's. Oh,
Okay, hold on, I'm not done with this.
Okay.
Constitutional originalists are dumb pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so...
It's not even like here's how I think the Constitution should be interpreted. It's okay. We're gonna go off of how I think they wanted to interpret the Constitution. 300 years ago. We're
Why?
going to use that as law today in 2017 with self-driving cars and planes.
So none of them.
Yeah.
They couldn't conceive these, so I'm saying no.
We're lucky. Like some of the Constitution went over for the internet with like freedom of speech and shit.
Yeah,
Good thing that's number one.
They wrote it
And
well
got
enough.
lucky.
Well, that was their idea, was that there's going to be so many things that are invented in the future we don't know about. We got to make this
Very vague.
not vague,
Vague
but
enough
we
to
have
be
to make it.
concrete
We
enough.
have to make it where you can interpret
Flexible,
it
yeah.
in a way that incorporates everything. And now these people are originalists, going back to like, hey, we should interpret it the way they interpreted it, not the way that we should interpret it. But they wrote it so that we could fucking interpret it the way we want. It makes no goddamn sense. I hate all of them. I want them all to die.
Anytime anyone's like, but the Constitution says, it's like, but we're talking about now. Like, let's discuss now.
Wasn't that the thing between Hamilton and Jefferson about the national bank was how they were interpreting the Constitution?
Could be.
I have no idea.
There was
Is that in the play?
no,
Is
was
that in Hamilton?
I don't
I
think
didn't see
that was,
the play.
I don't think that was. I mean, it might have been in the play.
I don't know.
But I think it was like, I don't remember who was which, but one of them was like strictly on the Constitution, and the other one was like loosely following it. And then they were making the Federal Reserve Bank from that. And then the one who was strictly about it was like, no, we can't do this because it doesn't give us the explicit right to do this. And then the other one was like, no, just be flexible with it a little bit, and we can do this, and it'll be better for us.
Yeah, the first person was an idiot.
Yeah, and then they didn't catch on, and then like that's where that idea should have died out, where they realized, oh, this is a good idea to flexibly look at these laws.
You know who else was a constitutional originalist?
The KKK.
Justice Scalia. He died thinking, yes, maybe. Not yes that he died, but like, okay,
Yes.
we can put someone in the Supreme Court who has views that make sense. Who would we replace him with? Constitutional originalist.
It's-
Fuck us.
I mean, first of all, I don't value national borders at all, and I feel no pride as an American.
Build a wall.
No, whereas I just want to leave.
Oh, okay.
I don't feel like. First of all, borders are overrated.
They're all right.
I just want to move to Norway.
That might turn some people off.
I don't care, man.
What?
And if I go over this, I'm like, wow, I'll cut it. Because now we're talking about Ford, and you know how Macy's and Westland went out of business?
Yeah.
So the Macy's in Fairlane Mall, it's, I mean, really big. I don't know if it's
Fairlane Mall.
in Dearborn.
I've never been in the Macy's, but I've been in that mall 100 times.
It's huge.
It's the big one. The Macy's the huge one.
Yeah, it's like all Macy's.
Yeah,
Anyways,
the rest of the mall's small.
The mall's dying, like all malls. But, so what Ford did is they bought out, I don't even know what it was originally. It was just like an entire wing of the mall, and they converted it into office space.
Oh, that's smart.
And, well, there's some issues with it, but I was walking because now it's my place to go because it's this new site. First of all, it's all an open office, and I hate it. There's no cubicle taller than, like, between my shoulders and my hip. That's so everyone's monitors are available all the time.
Oh, that's weird.
It's
How am I
one of
gonna
those.
watch porn.
Yeah,
At work.
That's it might be a deterrent, but like you can still power through and do it.
It's
Got to have not a lot of
People,
privacy.
yeah,
it's
or
just
shame.
loud, and I wouldn't be able to like think in that environment. It's disgusting.
It's
Wear
loud.
sound canceling headphones.
No,
they
just too
don't
many
let you.
people. It's like the environment itself is counterintuitive to how I need to work.
They just sound like buzzing insects.
I mean, it's
always.
like at Facebook headquarters where they have the same design, and if you look at someone's desk, there's like stuff on it, but no one's at their desk. They're somewhere else, alone. So that's like the first thing. Grant said it was a good idea. It is a good idea to repurpose this thing, and maybe like even jumpstart some more
And just
economy in the mall itself.
Just because of like how close it is to their world headquarters too.
Yeah, I mean every Ford building's really close.
Yeah, it's just like right next door to it too.
But it's like, I mean, one of the issues is that when this mall was built, it was built to be a mall. It wasn't built to be an office space. So the bathroom situation is awful.
Is it just there's no bathroom?
There's
in
like
the office?
one bathroom for like what seems like 500 employees.
And then you just got to go to the mall bathrooms from there, right?
Yeah, you can leave and go somewhere else.
How is it connected to the mall?
It's is like the typical turnstile badge entry, and it's like they built a wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that on?
Honestly, I think considering how like empty the rest of the mall is, they might just be considering
Buying them all.
continuing. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has that office space been up?
I don't know, probably less than 2 months.
Oh, okay. Because they like built this wall, like it seemed right in the middle of the mall, like cut off a whole section of it, like a year and a half ago.
I mean, they could have bought it, and
And-
it's really renovated. Like, if you walk into it, you wouldn't realize that it used to be a mall, other than like,
Okay, so that might have been what that was. Because
Yeah.
all of a sudden one day there was a wall where there wasn't a wall before, and I was like, there used to be stores over there.
I mean, that makes sense then.
They got rid of the sunglasses hut.
Oh no, the sunglasses hut.
I wanted to buy sunglasses, and I went in. There was no sunglass hut.
Oh no.
Go online like everyone else.
Sunglasses.
I wanted to try them on and see which ones I liked.
I want.
Warby Parker, bro.
I
Warby
wa-
Parker, bro. Order 5. Send back the ones you don't like.
I wanted to drop more sunglasses in the BP toilet.
Yeah, I did that. What of it?
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
my sunglasses smell like other people's shit. What of it?
Well, that's very close to your nose.
In your eyes.
Yeah, you probably got pink eye, bitch.
I sanitized them.
Nah.
Did you use quat sanitizer?
Quat.
Yeah, it was 200 ppm.
Oh damn!
I had ample shit.
We were talking about Ford. I wanna go back to Elon for a sec, because he predicts. There's this article again. Show notes. Elon said that in almost all new cars will be self-driving within 10 years. And
Yeah, I believe it.
What?
I think it'd be sooner. No,
No, there's no.
no.
The issue is people.
Not all new cars, but like, I guess the thing about 2022, those cars will be available, and then in I maybe because the 2022 is 5 years away. 5 years after that, they're gonna stop making cars that don't have human drivers. I don't think that the popular opinion is gonna sway in favor of self-driving cars that quickly, to the point where every single person on both sides of the aisle are all for self-driving cars.
Yeah.
Constitutional originalists are going to have none of that.
Well, how many of them are there though?
I don't know.
I mean, it comes down to like, again,
There
a
should be
non-zero.
zero.
But it comes down to just a logistics issue where there's like, he says there are about 2 billion cars in the world, and the total annual production capacity is about 100 million cars. So you can only make so many cars, and then people have to buy those cars. So it's just, we need time.
I think 5 years probably is longer than most people think it is. Like when you think like, oh, in 5 years this will happen. Like that's a
chunk.
fucking long ass
That's
time.
a chunk. Of your life. That's a high school plus a year.
Yeah, that's like a long time. So I guess it would be possible, but even thinking like that, like
Right.
it's that much of a time, I don't think that it's going to sway 100% in favor of self-driving cars.
Like 5 years ago today, like self-driving cars weren't they like just like a thought?
5 years ago today, I don't think anybody thought that would be possible in the next 20 years.
I think Google was thinking about it, right?
Well, I think yeah.
Google was doing it.
You
Yeah.
had to, yeah. If you weren't in the industry that was already doing it, if you were just some person and people are like, oh, when do you think we'll have self-driving cars? They'd be like, ha,
Never.
never. Science fiction movies. Get your head out of the gutter, you piece of shit.
Gutter.
I don't know. Clouds. I meant to say clouds. Get your head out of the clouds, you piece of shit.
Get your head out of the gutter. We're not fucking these self-driving cars. What do you think this is? Transformers porn? Get your head out of the gutter.
This was Your Friends Podcast.
Talked about a lot of stuff.
Talked about a whole lot of stuff today. We had to squeeze in a recording, but we got it done. I think we did pretty good. Hopefully you liked it and you enjoyed hanging out with your friends. You can discuss this episode on Reddit at r/finalfm. We post our YouTube links there. What, Grant?
Has anyone commented on the Reddit?
Nope. You can view our YouTube videos from those links. I post on YouTube, Google Play, everywhere. Talk to us on Twitter. You can follow me at AlexComp, KAUMP. You can follow Justin.
At Justin Brodzik 14. I don't think I've ever told you how to spell it. It's Brodzik.
Episode 6 is a good time to do that. And Grant Davis over there.
You can find me at Grant_Davis33.
That's DAVIS.
I mean, it's an easy one.
Oh, it's got the silent S.
Yeah, you don't hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's French.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.